Here's a video of me on the phone that I don't use to record. This phone is just for calling purposes. But anyhow, I left my other phone, so this is what you're getting. I just drove out. I have no idea on what time it is on a Sunday morning, and I'm going to get my debit card activated. I got the new one. I got it before my last one expired in December. I got the new one before December, and I've just been going around with it and not doing anything about it. I just hate going to ATMs because since the storm, ATMs everywhere are just crazy because there are still ATMs that are not working. Like yesterday, I went to 4 different ATMs. One of them was locked. Like it seems like it's working. There's lights on inside. The door responds when I wave my hand for it to open, but it seems to be locked with a key or locked from the inside. I don't know. Um, and the machine seems to have power. So the whole plaza right there has power. The machine seems to have power because I can't see the screen from through the door, but I can see the light on the machine blinking green where you'd put your card in or where you'd collect the receipts right off there. So I'm seeing that, but door is locked. The second machine that I went to had no power whatsoever. The third one had no power and it was locked. So the second one, there was no power, but the door was open. You could come and go inside. And then the fourth one, there was power, but it wasn't working. But I didn't get to see why it wasn't working because when I rolled up, when I drove up to the ATM, there was like two guys inside, but they weren't doing anything. It just seemed like they were just chilling. So I was like, okay, well, like, that's weird. Is this like the new chill spot? Because clearly they're not using the ATM. They just be inside talking, both on either side of the little room, but none of them directly standing in front of the ATM machine. And so I roll up, park, come out of the car, and the guy comes out to meet me, and he's like, "Oh, it's not working." I was like, "Oh, okay," because I was wondering how you guys just didn't say like, "Oh, we just chilling in the AC." So it did have power. That one had power, and clearly the AC was working, but maybe it didn't have any money. I don't know. I didn't bother to ask them because, you know. And the weird fact is that I didn't even need it to be working. Like, I didn't even need it to be issuing money. Now that I think about it, now that I'm talking about it, I didn't need it to have power. I mean, to have money. I just needed to activate the card. So it didn't matter if it didn't have money to give me. As long as it had power and I could insert my card and put in my PIN, I'd probably just do like a balance inquiry. And I'm pretty sure that would work. But I don't know if they like turn off machines. God knows. I don't know. Like I said, after the hurricane, the second day after the hurricane, I went to an ATM and I just told myself all the hassle for that. I told myself that I wasn't in any hurry to go back to an ATM machine. And then somebody was telling me how two different ATM machines they went to out of their bank network and they didn't get their money and then the bank tell them that them need 15 business days to investigate. Like what? Like suppose that was my last money because she said the first time it happened to her, she didn't even realize that the money came out of her account. So she tried to make the withdrawal. The machine was making all the noise like it was counting out the money and then no money came out. But she just assumed that the transaction was canceled because the ATM didn't have the money. So she did the transaction again. So I don't know. I didn't ask her. When people tell me them story, most times I don't really question them because if you don't want to tell me the meat of the matter, you tell me. And I don't really like small talk, so I don't really like to talk except when I'm talking to myself and you guys. And I'm talking to my phone, aka also talking to myself because I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking at my camera and then you guys are watching this at a later date. So I guess because I just me one in here chats, then alright. This is so good for my mental health. I need to just get up on a Sunday morning and just take a drive. Oh, child, I just left the house in the 50-story no one. I just left the house and the 4-year-old was bawling. The 1-year-old didn't. I don't think she cries when I'm leaving the house. She cries if I'm leaving her somewhere. Like if I'm leaving her at daycare, she'll cry. But she doesn't cry when I'm leaving the house. I don't think she does. I don't leave her at the house very often. There's one other time that I can think of. I'm sure I've left her at the house more than one other time, but the one time that I can remember she didn't cry. It's not that something. Anyhow, random chit chat on a Sunday morning, lone car drive. So that's point of the matter is I'm going to the ATM now to activate the debit card. And oh child, 2025 whooped my butt. I mean, it wasn't so bad, but it was like of all the years of my existence, like even when I was going through a separation, even when I'm unemployed and I have no income. And I guess at that point I was with my parents, so it wasn't so bad. It wasn't like I was wondering how I was gonna pay my rent or my bills because I didn't have any at the time. So I don't know. Yeah, 50 story now. And another story just came to mind, but it's not. It's regarding my kids and divorce and my ex-husband. And I don't know if I want to share that. I have a friend, like anytime I feel, because sometimes I feel like I just want to vent, but I have a friend, I like she always pops up in my head and, telling me, don't say anything that might embarrass your kids or, anything that touches on your kids. Probably don't put that out on the internet. So that's probably why I'll never do like a story time. I know everybody nowadays is talking about their separation and their divorce and co-parenting with a narcissist and whatever, but I guess I'll never tell my story because she has a point. Don't say anything that will make your kids feel away, or even if it's not embarrassing them, we got to think about these things when we're sharing the stories because at the end of the day, that person is their parents, and allow them to make up their own mind about the type of person that that parent is. Be you, be true to you, and let the other parents do whatever. I mean, whatever within reason that's safe. You know how far they will go. Some of us don't really know because we've never parented with them before we had these kids, so we don't know. Because a lot of times they're not the same person. The same person that they are as a partner is not the same person that they are as a parent. And there's levels to it as well. So I mean, people will say, "Oh, well, this and you that you chose." Yes, we chose to. We know this, and some of us acknowledge that we made bad choices as women in our partners and in the people that we had children with, and some of us don't acknowledge it either. But me out here, me know, say me have made bad decisions. And I say to the same friend, I say, like I wish social media was a thing. Like social media, no, I wish it was a thing back then when I was 22, 23, 24, because probably I would have made different decisions, right? Because yes, there was social media back then, but social media it was just us sharing our lives with our friends and our families that weren't right next to us. So there was MySpace, there was Facebook, and it was really just you sharing your life with your friends and your family that weren't right there with you. So it wasn't people out here telling their stories about what happened to them, how them partner treat them, or like I don't even know if narcissist was a word back then, if I can remember for myself. But you live and you learn. I'm glad that the young people nowadays have it. Can use their own wood, and I hope they do. All right, guys, now it's the 8 p.m. It better be. No, that's all for today. All right. We are back. They have the touchless things to open the doors to the ATM, but then there's the bolt to bolt the door so you can be safer inside.
which I guess I bolted, even though I wasn't doing a withdrawal, I still bolted the door because I don't know, safety first. But yeah, that is my little early morning drive. Where am I gonna go turn? I can turn back right here. Alright. Turn back right here. Alright. Did not mash up my car. I wish this drive was longer. But oh well. Better than nothing. So going back home to my screaming children now. Tomorrow's the first day of school and I'm a little I think like when the kids are not in school I should just probably stick to the same morning stuff because having to restart it just like I get up early but I don't know, I've always been a morning person all my life, but I don't know. At this point in life I don't want to be a morning person. I don't know. I think I diagnosed myself with functional depression because it's no other reason why I just be waking up and stressed out. Like, oh my god, another day. Like, you know, waking up to see another day should be a good thing. Yay! But your girl is dragging. I used to be so productive, and it's just I know exactly what it is. It's lifestyle change and just change a new and different family dynamic that took me out of my routine. So morning time was never for me to get up out of bed and start making breakfast. Never. Before I moved into this house, my kids' school was like 10 minutes away. So literally they had to be at school 8:30. They didn't have to get up before 7 o'clock. So, and I didn't need to be anywhere for 8 o'clock or 8:30 or 9 o'clock. I just worked my day, and the fact that the school was 10 minutes away and they could get a drive home and a taxi, the same taxi every day would take them home, and either my parents would be home, at least one of them would be home, and if my mom wasn't home, she was always close by. So if they got home and she wasn't there, they would let me know on Alexa. I don't even know how I did this because I can't figure out how to do it now. So back then, what they would do if they got home and nobody was there, they would send a message they would use Alexa to send me a message, and I don't know, how do I do that? So they didn't need a phone. They were safer digitally, physically. It's crazy. Take me back. But we can't say take me back because taking me back would take away some of the things that I have now. But I don't know, life just things get more convenient. We have cars now, so we can go further away and still be comfortable and not get tired and not get sweaty. We have AC in the car. We don't have to be hot and sweaty. We don't have to all these things. But it's like I want to live in a 15-minute city. That is the 50 topic in a one, 50 story in a one, but this story is about me just wanting to live in a 15-minute city. So I'm having a little anxiety about tomorrow morning and going back to school and yada yada yada. And it's a change for me because probably that's what's giving me the anxiety, not so much with going back to school, but just because it's new, it's gonna be new. And it's gonna be new and the timing is different. I just feel like there's not enough time in the day to be me. There's not enough time in the day to be Beverly at this point in time. I have to just keep telling myself that baby girl is gonna get big at some point. Well, she soon, and she's gonna be going to school. And then when I tell myself that, then I start worrying about the fact that, like, oh crap, because by the time she starts going to school, he's gonna be done with this school. Ideally, it would be best if I could find one school so I could do one drop off, one pick up. And then when I think about that, I'm like, the options are very few and far in between. The options that I can afford that are in my tax brackets are very. The options that I cannot afford are few too, but it's just one in my head that's convenient and it's way outside of my tax bracket, big time. And then there's this other one, but I'm scared of the road to get to and from there. So I don't even know. So that's going to be the next challenge. Why am I thinking so far ahead? I don't know. My brain just goes there. I guess because I'm trying to tell myself that it's gonna get better because they're not gonna be in the stages that they are right now forever. And then as I'm thinking of that, then I'm thinking about the future and I'm thinking about the next stages and phases, and I'm realizing that I have this other obstacle. So now, how I get them to school when they're going to two different schools? What if one school is this way and one school is that way? It's just a one of me, you know? Just one of me. What time I go after left my yard? Then somebody's gonna get to school early and somebody's gonna get to school on time. Or somebody's gonna get to school on time and somebody's gonna get to school late. You see what I'm saying? But let's not worry about that. Maybe just worry about tomorrow morning. Maybe just worry about tomorrow morning. 50 story, you know, and anyhow guys, I'm almost home. Thank you so much for watching me rant and vent and chit chat with you on this little FaceTime video. There's a plane. Oh, another story as we talk about there's a plane with what's going on in Venezuela. I'm like, do I even need to have a passport at this point? Because like, what am I gonna use it to do? It's so scary because I'm like, imagine you just invest in Venezuela as a tourist, just minding your business, and all of a sudden war broke loose, and it's affecting Colombia too on the border that they share in terms of people going over there. So I'm like, it's just not a good time to travel anywhere. I'm gonna just be traveling in Jamaica. I just need to start driving around Jamaica at this point. Just be like a tourist and just hire one of those tourist driver people and just book one villa or something and just book a villa, book a driver, drive go to the place. Hell, we can even tell the driver to come spend the weekend at the villa too, so he can take us around the place. Like we just go sightseeing locally. At this point, that's all. Like, I don't know. I don't need no visa, I don't need no passport, I don't need to do nothing. Can you tell I'm kind of, sometimes when I talk to myself, I feel like I give up on life. Anyhow, guys, that's enough chit chat. 50 story in a one. Thanks for spending this little bit of time with me. Mwah.